What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled We All Get to Heaven, but We All Don't Stay. I had a commenter. We were just talking about forgiveness and atonement. And the fellow was like, forgiveness is part of the Bible. He pulled out a Bible scripture. And I get it. We're supposed to forgive. But you're supposed to atone also. Like, people have this thing, and this goes further than what y'all think I'm about to take it. People have this thing where they forget that in the Bible, in Revelations, you're going to be judged on your works in the book of life. So you have a lot of people who are quote unquote religious and quote unquote Christians who keep thinking, as long as I believe in Jesus or God, I'm going to heaven. And that's because you're not paying attention to the very Bible you've been reading. But this psychosis spills into society because people have that same ideology where you can do whatever you want as long as you're forgiven. But you never have to atone. Everybody has to forgive you. Now, if you're in a position where everybody has to forgive you, then by default, you're a problem. You're a problem to everybody that comes around you. You're a walking calamity. Now, why I'm making this is because, like the title says, when people think about religion and God and heaven, everybody gets to see heaven. On Judgment Day, everybody gets to see heaven, but everybody don't get to stay. See, everybody gets there, but they gonna show by your works. Are you going to stay? That's two different things, and people forget that because people assume that, I'm going to walk to the pearly gates and I'm going to say, I believe in Jesus. And they just going to skip everything in that book, all of your deeds. That's not the case. So this digs into one of the core problems in America, where everything is fair game for $1, and people think they can be forgiven for their actions as long as money is your God. So if you make enough money, the money forgave you. The lives that you destroyed along the way don't count, and you're going to ask for forgiveness, but what are you going to do to atone it? In criminal justice, you can be an accomplice. You can get just as much of time for being an accomplice to a crime that was committed than the person who committed the crime, because you were in on it. And in our society, people are in on injustice. People are in on benefiting off of someone else's work or someone else's pain. You didn't actually do it, but you know that you're benefiting from it, so you go along with it. You don't do the right thing. You don't give things back, that you know are stolen or taken. You don't give the money back that you wind up profiting off of somebody else, and it could be legal, but it's definitely unethical and immoral. But since it's legal, you don't mind being an accomplice because you're not going to jail. Now, this also spills into other aspects of society where, how we treat each other. This idea that, I'm just being me. And when I'm being me, I say despicable things and I do despicable things, but that's just me being me. Only God can judge me. Well, only God can judge you, but everybody else had to deal with you. So, your life will say something by the company that you keep or the company that you cannot keep, which is one of the issues that go along with this video. Because this ideology that everybody has to forgive everybody. Why? You know, this is the thing about atonement. You can't forgive a person who has no remorse. See, when somebody tells you they're sorry, but they never do anything to atone what they did, they never repair the situation, then they're not really sorry. You can't forgive a person who's not sorry. You know, you want to grant them forgiveness for an apology that they never asked for. That says something. You know, there's no restitution. That says something. You know, so obviously, you know, as we go out into the world and we look at, you know, people in this country historically, you know, people tell you to forgive me. They don't ask you. They don't do anything. They just show up and basically tell you to forgive me. It's no, when I see it, I don't look at it as a question. So maybe that's just me. You know, will you forgive me? I know it's phrased as a question. Can you forgive me? I know it's phrased as a question. But they're showing up with no peace offerings, asking for forgiveness. That don't work in no type of environment on the planet. That is not the rules, right? But people gonna do what they want to do. Now, one of the weird things about this is also this idea that, you know, you're free to do what you want, even if it hurts or harms or uses or manipulates or misuses another human being or a group of human beings. And because you talked it over with Jesus, it's all good. That's, you know, and plus the idea of, you know, I'm living in my truth, right? Because when you're a person who lives in your truth, it was never, sometimes your truth can be a half lie or half truth rather, where your truth is not really true, but it's a convenient story you tell yourself, even though it's not really true. So you're living the truth, but it's not real, but everybody has to experience you living your truth, which isn't true. Prime example. Most people know 2 + 2 is 4. But if your truth, 2 + 2 is 5, you're living your truth of being 2 + 2 is 5. So both truths can be true because it's your truths. 5 is true to you, but 4 is true to everybody else. So now you getting into it with the world because you want them to believe your truth and not the truth. So this becomes a problem, you know. Now the reason I say, you know, everybody can see heaven, but everybody can't stay is because of the dynamic of hell. You think hell is gonna be empty? I mean, all you people who've read the Bible and who deal in religion, you know there are gonna be some people who make it to heaven and some people who make it to hell. And you know, and to act, and for everybody to act like everybody's on the path to heaven, that's narcissistic. That's psychotic. Because that means you're not checking any of your actions while you're on this planet, so you don't know how to atone anything, because you just reserve the right to tell God that you know you get into heaven just because you feel like it. So basically, whatever you do, you're going to get into heaven no matter how good or how bad it is. And, you know, this is why everybody going to get to see it, but everybody don't get to stay. You know, there's no apprehension in your belief. I believe in my heart. And they open that book of life. Your actions, your deeds, what you did to your fellow man and for your fellow man is going to be the answer, not how you feel. You know, I feel like I love Jesus, so that's it. You're going to get to see. But that don't mean you're going to get to stay. Like, guess what? Most people in the major cities, you have a stadium. You get to see the stadium, but unless you got the ticket, you can't get in. You can't stay there, right? It's like a hotel. You visit in heaven, but after this vacation is over, we're going to see if you're going to stay in this city. But I'm done with this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.